Hello, everybody, and hope you're doing all well. This is Ed, or as my sons call me, the Angry Old Man, back from my 87th TTM video, which stands for Through the Mail. Send autograph requests, out to famous people, athletes, whomever, and hopefully they return our items signed, preferably. I hope everyone's been having a great summer. I've had a good summer. Had a lot of traveling in the last couple weeks, so that's why I haven't been on. I've been watching people's videos. I had to go to such great places as Farmington, Pennsylvania, Madison, Cleveland, Troy, and Dayton, Ohio, Indianapolis and Mitchell, Indiana, Springfield, Illinois, Hannibal, St. Louis, Kansas City, Missouri, and Topeka, Kansas. So I've been on the road quite a bit. But your videos are great. I hope people are going to watch this one. And I hope everybody's doing well. Hope your baseball teams are doing great. Mine have not been doing great. The Mets stink. What a waste of a season. They'll rent two guys for half the year, Verlander and Scherzer. And then there's the Yankees, who are going to have a new manager, I'm sure, next year. Because Aaron Boone, I don't think, will be around much after this. They probably get a new general manager as well. But let's get to the business at hand. I had 5 TTMs, and I also had a pickup. So I'll start off with the pickup. This pickup, I got this gentleman right here in an 8x10. Falling down on me. Mr. Willie Mueller. As you can see, he was with the Milwaukee Brewers, number 40. He had a career record of 1 win, no losses, 7 strikeouts, and an ERA of 6.14. And the reason I got him was because if you saw the movie Major League, great movie, great baseball movie, this guy threw out his own son in a father and son game. He played the Duke, the Yankees reliever, at the end of Major League when he came in to face Jake Taylor. Laid down that famous bunt if you haven't seen the movie. That's why I got it. He was in Major League. Didn't realize he'd actually played Major League Baseball. So, nice addition to my collection here. Now, the TTMs. The first one, this came from California. It took about 2 months. A little over that, 60-plus days. And it came from Mr. Joe Montano. We'll move the card a little closer. He signed it to Ed. Here's his opening day pitch, first pitch, or I should say, at Wrigley Field. Not opening day, but his first pitch on June 2nd, 2016. So he was nice enough to sign it. He's an actor. I believe he was in Criminal Minds, various movies like The Godfather Part 3. Been around a long time, so took a chance signing it out. He signed it. Personalization, doesn't bother me. Always like those. TTM number 2. I say 2, came all the way from the great state of California. I believe it was California. This gentleman signed 4 of 4. Yes, 4. I don't normally send out 4, but I did this time. Mr. Harold Jackson on the 76 Tops with the Rams. Like catching a football for everybody. Then we got him on the 1982 Tops, where he's with the Patriots. And the old 1978 Tops. There he is, the headshot with the Rams. And this nice card. Little action for you. So 4 of 4. We can't get them all in there. He also signed an index card as well. Rams, Eagles, Patriots. That's who he played for. So I was appreciative of that. And he sent a nice, as he does to everybody, he even signed it about ordering t-shirts. So he signed it up top there. If you ever want to order any t-shirts, he's a great TTMer, Mr. Jackson. And a little bit about him. This had no fee. Took 21 days. Mr. Harold Leon Jackson was born January 6, 1946 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I believe that's where Southern Miss is located. 77. He attended Jackson State University, a school that eventually would be attended by a guy by the name of, Walter Payton. He went there as well. In 1968 NFL Draft, Mr. Jackson was picked in the 12th round with the 323rd pick by the Los Angeles Rams. His career went from 1968 to 1983, and he briefly came back in 1987. He played for the Rams on 2 different occasions. He played for the Eagles and the Patriots, the Vikings and the Seahawks. His first year, he didn't play many games. We played 2 games in the NFL. And then after 1972, he was traded to the Philadelphia, after the 1968 season, he was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. And after the 1972 season, he was traded back to the Rams. The Rams traded a quarterback by the name of Roman Gabriel to the Eagles. He was kind of on the downside of his career at that point, so I think the Rams got a good deal there. Statistically, his greatest game came on October 14th, 1973 against the Dallas Cowboys. He had 7 catches for 238 yards and had 4 touchdowns against the Boys. After he originally retired in 1983 with the Seahawks, he came back in 1987. He suited up but didn't play any games. That was the strike year. He suited up as a replacement player but never played actually in any games. He played in 208 games in his career. He had 579 receptions, 10,372 receiving yards, and 76 touchdowns overall. He was also an assistant coach after his career ended. He coached in both college and the pros. He started out in the pros with the New England Patriots as their wide receiver coach. He was their wide receiver coach when they played the Bears in Super Bowl 20. Then he coached the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as their wide receiver coach and the New Orleans Saints. He was the head coach at Jackson State in 2014-15 with a record of 6-11. He also was an assistant at NC Central, Virginia Union, Kentucky, and Baylor. During his career, he was an All-Pro once, 1973, or 5-time Pro Bowler, as you see on his card. He signed them all on the cards here, 5-time Pro Bowls, but he's a 1-time All-Pro. 2-time NFL receiving yards leader, and he led the NFL in receptions 1 year in 1972 and led the league in touchdown receptions in 73. So I thank you, Mr. Jackson. He personalizes, but I don't care. I got great cards. As you can see, he fell down. Well, that's cool. So thank you, Mr. Jackson. You even got the index card as well. The next TTM, this one came from Florida. Beautiful Florida. Took 28 days. There was no fee. He's a Hall of Famer in hockey. Mr. Bill Barber signed that Milestones card there. Sporting that kind of slick down do. And here he is on the Squirrel Hall of Fame card. He was a member of the Bad Boys, the Philadelphia Flyers. And he also signed the index card with his number. So very generous for Mr. Barber. Excuse me. Tell you a little bit about Mr. Barber. William Charles Barber, goes by Bill, was born on July 11th, 1952 in Callander, Ontario, Canada. 71. In the 1972 NHL Draft, he was picked in the first round with the 7th pick by the Flyers. He played his entire career in Philly from 72 to 84. After 11 games in his rookie season, he was in the AHL with the Richmond Robins down there in Virginia, and the Flyers called him up to the NHL. He had 30 goals and 34 assists in his rookie year. He scored 20 goals every season of his career. His best season was in 1975-76 when he had 50 goals and 62 assists. The Flyers at that time were the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs, who wound up losing to the Montreal Canadiens that year in the finals. In the 1976 Canada Cup finals against Czechoslovakia, he scored a goal to send the game in overtime, and Canada would go on to win it. In 1979-80 season, he was part of the Flyers' 35-game record unbeaten streak, but he was forced to retire after the 84 season because he was unable to return from reconstructive knee surgery. Played hard with those Flyers. The Flyers did retire his number 7 on October 7th, 1990. He is a member of the Hockey Hall of Fame. In his career, he scored 420 goals, had 463 assists, and 883 points. In the playoffs, he had 53 goals, 55 assists, and 108 points. He's a 6-time All-Star, won 2 Stanley Cups with the Flyers, 74 and 75, and played in 4 Stanley Cup finals. The last time was in 1980 when they lost to the Islanders. And he was also a Stanley Cup winner as an executive with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2004. He coached the Flyers from 2000 to 2002, had 73 wins, 40 losses, and 17 ties. So he's a pretty good coach. I thank you, Mr. Barber, one of the Broad Street bullies, signing it. Always nice to get that back from the Florida area. And the next TTM came all the way from the great state of Connecticut, Constitution State, as they like to call it. And this is an 8x10. There was no fee. It took about, 40 days. But it came back from this gentleman who was a tight end, and that is Mr. Russ Francis. Great tight end that he was. Mr. Francis signed that. He put down Super Bowl 19 champs, which he was with the Niners. He put to Ed Aloha, and he put a good friend since 1977. I didn't know I knew him that long. He also included, I didn't send this, he included a nice card that he signed as well, and he signed it Aloha Russ Francis. So that was very nice of Mr. Francis. He did send a note. He said, "Thank you for the kind words. I am honored to sign your photo and include this card. Be well and aloha, Russ Francis, number 81, Patriots 49ers. So that's the nice note he sent. And thank Mr. Francis for that. He's touch and go, I think, as far as sending, so I got lucky. Russell Ross Francis, better known as Russ, born April 3rd, 1953, in the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington. He's 70. He attended Pleasant Hill High School in Oregon, where he set the national high school record for the javelin throw as a senior in 1971, 259 feet 9 inches, a record that stood until 1988. He attended the University of Oregon, where he played football and threw the javelin. He only played about 14 games of football. He decided to transfer eventually. He was injured after 3 games in his sophomore season, so by senior year in 1974, he enrolled at Oregon State because he wanted to keep his eligibility for the 1975 NFL draft, he said. Well, in that draft, 1975, he was picked in the first round with the 16th pick by the New England Patriots. And that was a pretty good draft. The number 1 pick that year was from Cal. He was a quarterback, picked by the Falcons, Steve Bartkowski. The second guy picked was from the University of Maryland, a defensive tackle by the name of Randy White. And the 5th guy in that draft was a running back from Jackson State by the name of Walter Payton. So, pretty good players ahead of him. His career went from 1975 to 1989. He did retire for a couple of seasons after 1980, but he played with the Patriots and the 49ers. He did retire after the 1980 season. He said there were a variety of reasons. The main 2 was because the Patriots refused to give him his promised bonus for making the Pro Bowl. They didn't want to give it to him because he was injured from a motorcycle accident and couldn't play in that game. And secondly, when his roommate and friend Darryl Stingley was paralyzed in 1978, the Patriots tried to cancel Darryl Stingley's medical insurance, and he was really upset with that as well. Russ was the first teammate at Darryl Stingley's side after his hit from Jack Tatum in 1978, and he said it was real tough to play football after that particular game. While he was out, the Patriots traded his rights to the San Francisco 49ers, and in exchange, the Patriots got a draft pick, and they did use that pick wisely because they eventually picked future linebacker and Hall of Famer Andre Tippett with that particular pick. While he was out of football for a short time, he did some work for ABC Sports, and Bill Walsh, who was then coach of the 49ers, said he should come back because he would regret it if he didn't come back. So he did. Played with the Niners and played on their Super Bowl 19 winner, where they beat the Miami Dolphins. He had 5 catches and 60 yards in that great game. For his career, he had 167 games, 393 receptions, 5,282 yards, and 40 touchdowns. And again, he was a Super Bowl winner in 19. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler, made the New England Patriots All-1970s team, and also made the New England Patriots 35th anniversary team. So, pretty good. He did participate on what was then the ABC's Superstars competition, which was a bunch of athletes from various sports competing in different athletic competitions. He finished second in 1980, so that's pretty good. He also participated in WrestleMania 2 in a battle royal, 20-man battle royal with other NFL stars, which included William the Refrigerator Perry. Offensive lineman Bill Fralick was there. I remember that. I enjoyed watching that one. His father was actually a wrestling promoter, Ed Francis. And when he retired, Russ Francis wrestled in the AWA and then went to Hawaii to wrestle in the NWA. And he actually won a tag team title out there with his brother. He did run for the U.S. House of Representatives in Hawaii in 2000, and lost to Congresswoman Patsy Mink. He was elected to the Polynesian Hall of Fame in 2015, so thank you, Mr. Russ Francis, for the card and also signing my photo and a very nice note. Last but not least, this came from Texas. I sent $10. It took 30 days. He actually sent my money back, which was real nice of Mr. Ray Crone. He signed the baseball here. A little shaky on the handwriting, but hey, 92 years old. Raymond Hayes Crone, better known as Ray, was born August 7th, 1931 in Memphis, Tennessee, Elvis's hometown there. And he was kind enough to inscribe 1957 World Series champs. He was a member of the Braves, but not very long, but he signed that for me. He actually signed his first contract in 1949 when he was still 17 years old. He signed with the Boston Braves and began his career that season. He never actually played in Boston. He started playing when they were in Milwaukee. He made his major league debut on April 13th, 1954, when he was 22. His career wasn't long, from 1954 to 58. He played with the Milwaukee Braves and then with the New York and eventually San Francisco Giants. On June 15th, 1957, he was traded to the New York Giants with Danny O'Connell for future Hall of Famer Red Schoendienst. His career, he was 30 wins, 30 losses, 3.87 ERA, and at 280 Ks. He eventually became a scout for such teams as the Montreal Expos, Baltimore Orioles, San Diego Padres, and Arizona Diamondbacks. So, 92, not bad. I thank you, Mr. Crone. I thank Mr. Barber, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Montaigne, Mr. Francis for signing. I thank everybody who's might still be subscribed to me. I lost a lot, but that's okay. I do want to give a shout out, though. I'll give one shout out today, and that is my buddy, Slapnuts. Yes, Slappy. He is back. He's got a channel. He's only got 32 subs right now. Get out there and sub him. You know, I emailed him a while ago to see how he was doing, and he said things were getting better, which is great. So glad to hear that. And he started a new job as well. But here's his Slappy is Gaming. Check it out. Check out Slappy. He's got a new channel. My brother from another mother. I'll leave that right there. Check him out. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope the summer's still good to you, what's left of it. Everybody is safe and doing well. Be kind to each other, one person at a time. Love everybody. I don't dislike anyone, even the people that leave the negative things for me, the thumbs down. So we will say goodnight today to Portugal, all my brothers and sisters in Portugal. Thank you. God bless.